Hi, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you've tuned in. I am Kelly Pitts, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Lubbock, Texas. And I've been a demonstrator since 2005. So I have been doing this quite a while. It's been a lot of fun. And for the last year or so, I've been able to work on this as a business full time. So that's been fun. I've been doing it kind of as a hobby on the side of all my other businesses for lots of years. So I'm glad to have the opportunity to share more with y'all and hope you enjoy the videos, whether you're watching live or on the replay on Facebook or YouTube. I'm glad you're here. I hope you will leave me a comment and let me know where you're from and who you are, and let me know you're watching. I always love a little feedback as I go so I don't feel like I'm talking to myself. Today we're going to make the fourth card in my series of Masterfully Made Suite cards. I did an actual card class here in Lubbock recently, and then offered the kits as a class to go. So I've got 2 people who have already signed up for that and will be watching the videos for the instructions. And then I do have a kit or 2 left. So if anybody's interested in the class to go with 6 cards featuring the Masterfully Made Suite from Stampin' Up!, I'd love to help you with that. Just contact me. You can send me an email at kelly@createwithkelly.com. And just make sure you spell Kelly, E-Y. That'll be great. And we will be doing this Flying Seagull card today. And this is the design of the Fun Fold is designed by Susan Campfield, who is with SueCampfield.com, I believe. So I am excited to show you how to put this together. I did a Flying Finch card, which is similar, and it's just longer, and it's the long and skinny way, or this is the long skinny way, and the other one's taller. So that I did, that's called Flying Finch, and this one is called Flying Seagull. And it works like this. That's how you get the seagull type deal. See that? I'll move the stamps out of the way so you have a bigger shot. So I'll show you that again in a minute when we switch over. And I guess we're about to, unless y'all have any questions. We do have a lot of great things going on at Stampin' Up! We've just had a clearance rack refresh, and we have a lot of online exclusives that have just been released just on July 6th. And that means that it will be items that are not in the catalog, but they are available through the online exclusives. And some of them have already sold out, and Stampin' Up! Will be ordering new ones. So let me know if you're interested in one of those. We will get a status report so we kind of know when they should be coming in again. So that's exciting. If some of y'all have seen those, let me show you those real quickly. Here, I think I've got a photo. It's not going to be up close, but it will have, if you see the little truck punch, there is a stamp set and a truck punch that's called Keep on Trucking. There's another Christmas set, a couple of Christmas sets. One that's Horse and Sleigh that I'll be doing a class with the paper soon. And then bonus days are here now from July 6th through the 31st. You can shop with me and earn a $5 coupon for every 50 you spend. Then you redeem the coupons in August. So that's those specials. And then also we have a paper pumpkin that if you're interested in the little summer kit, it looks really cute. And that will be if you subscribe by July 10th. And that would be great to get on that list. I can send you a direct link if you're interested in our monthly surprise paper pumpkin crafting kit. That would be awesome. And you can just look under clearance rack for that clearance rack refresh. So lots of things going on. And if you'll use my host code, that would be awesome. That helps me bring you the free videos and free classes online. So I always appreciate that if your order's under 150. So I can help you with any Stampin' Up! Products you need. And that's what I'll be using in the video today. So if you have any questions, or you can put them in the comments, I'll try to watch for those. And you can contact me anytime. we will get going on this card. Let me switcheroo the cameras really quickly. There we go. Now we can, I've moved my lights again. This is my third video today, so we're practicing. And just let me know when you pop on, and or if you watch the replay and have comments. I try to go back and look at those. I'm not perfect at doing that, but I'm happy to help when I can. So this is kind of a different fold, so hopefully this will help you to do the step-by-step on here. We're going to use paper pumpkin cardstock and paper pumpkin. Pumpkin pie. We were just talking about paper pumpkin. Now I've switched to pumpkin pie. Ink and cardstock. So we've got a little kit here that we'll be going over. And I've got the pieces cut and die cut and everything, so it will be a little quicker today. But your paper, let's see, I don't know on the instructions if I start, which end I start at, but yeah, I think it's this end. 2 1/4, you'll score, whoops, I didn't give you the size, 4 1/4 by 8 1/4. All right, 4 1/4 by 8 1/4. So it's not your typical size. Then you score it at 2 1/4, 4, and 6 1/4. All right, 2 1/4, 4, and 6 1/4. And you'll make 2 of those. You'll need 2 for 1 card. So you'll only get 1 card out of that 1 sheet of pumpkin pie. All right. So we're going to score these. We're going to use our bone folder and do a mountain, valley, valley fold. Okay. Usually you alternate, but on this one, you're going to have a mountain fold on the 2 1/4 end. So you've got one end that's 2 inches, one that's 2 1/4. And this one is by the skinny panel, you can tell. So the one on the end should be a mountain fold, and it should be next to the skinny panel. So comparatively skinny. So we will fold that mountain fold, get that even, really good and even, burnish it really well with the bone folder. You can use the side, you can use the tip, whatever. So there's your mountain fold. Then we're going to go valley fold. Get that really good, and then get this part really good. Then we're going to go valley fold again, just making sure we're even on both sides. Okay, so you see what I mean? You've got, this will be mountain, valley, valley. Then you're going to do the same thing with the other one, the other sheet of paper. Let's see, make it where it'll make sense to you. I guess this way. So this is the wider end. This is the 2 1/4 end, and it's by the skinny section. That's how you know. Then we're going to fold this one in. This is the skinny end, or of the two. This is a 2 inch. So we've got mountain, valley, valley again. See that? Mountain, valley, valley. Okay. Now, you have to pay attention on this. So we've got a mountain fold. Now we're going to mirror this. So we're going to have a mountain fold on each end. All right. So that's the 2 1/4 by the skinny end, or by the skinny section. This is the wider end, the 2 1/4 end by the skinny section. Then you're going to take these two 2 inch panels and fold those back on themselves like that. Make sure they meet up. If you cut it out of the same piece of paper, it should meet up if you've cut it at 4 1/4. All right. Now we're going to flip the whole thing over, flip both sides over, and then you're going to take a Post-it note and hold those together like that on the back. Okay. So now we've got valley on the ends. That's how we know we're on the back. So flip it over. Then we're going to do the 4. This is a separate piece of pumpkin pie that is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. It's 4 1/4 square. Okay. We can go ahead and glue this on, or we can just glue. I'm just going to go ahead and glue this so that we know we have it right. Okay, I've got my Stampin' little silicone mat here so that you don't get glue everywhere, hopefully. We'll see which one of these glues comes out. I was using one earlier, obviously not that one. Okay. Always have several of these on hand, so hopefully I don't have to do the little clean out with it. There we go. Okay. And you can use liquid glue, you can use Stampin' Seal, whatever you want. And this piece, these two pieces together, this flap is what you're going to glue the main part of the focal point onto. All right. But this is bigger than this. So what does that mean to you? That means you want to put the glue on the smallest one so that you won't have a lot of extra glue going on everywhere, getting everywhere. So we're going to put it on this part, on these flaps right here. And it can go all the way out because this paper is a little bit larger. So we're just going to take this and glue it and make sure we've got it straight. Make sure we've got it even on both sides. It should be where you've got about the same amount of room between this score line and the paper and this score line and the paper. I'm a little bit too close on the left, so I'm going to do it again. See if I can get a little closer. Now, before we seal that, we're going to make sure that this will fold in on the sides, and it does. Okay, so that will fit in the standard envelope like that. Okay, you see what I did? Folded that in on the side. So now we know that this is good to go. Take your Post-it note off. You can use the bone folder here on the back. Make sure we're letting that dry really well. So now we have attached that square to the flaps. Okay, so we've still got our mountain, valley, and then the valley is folded back onto itself. Okay, now we're going to decide which way we want our piece, and we happen to have one that is exactly the same there. I'll show you how it will work either way. This could be sky, this could be ground, it could be however you want it to be. Sideways, this way. And let's see, I'm going to switch it out just so you see the difference. This one is a different piece of paper. You can see a different section of that 12 by 12. This paper, the designer series paper called Masterfully Made or Gorgeously Made. I think it's Masterfully Made. That paper comes 12 by 12. So you will cut it into, it's always best to cut it into 3-inch or 4-inch pieces so that you get 3 or 4 across. So this one is going to be 4 by 4. It's a 4 by 4 square. So you're going to get 9 of these out of a 12 by 12 sheet. Okay, when you're cutting this paper. So I'm going to make it, it does have some printing. You can't really read it, but if you look at it, you can kind of see words here and there. So I like to do that where it's up and down. I mean, left to right, where you can read it. Okay, we're just going to attach this piece. You could attach it with dimensionals if you want. You could attach it flat. I'm going to do this one flat, since we're going to have this raised and have a bow and have embellishments. Okay, now we're going to take, when y'all get your kit, those of you who did a class to go, your 2 pieces here may look a little bit different. I only had so much of that paper, so I am sorry if it looks different, but this is what we're going to use today. In fact, I might see if I've got one of those that is a little different so we can see that different look. I do not in here. Okay, never mind. We're just going to do it this way. And you can see which way you like it. It may or may not match up one way or another. This one doesn't, but this is like that's the same exact piece. So I made a lot of these sets, and That means we may have different, okay, there we go. We're going to switch that out so that they're different on each side. A little bit different. There we go. So you could have it this way, you could have it this way. You just decide which way you like it. Usually if I have a choice on something, I make the darker color at the bottom because I think it looks heavier that way. So that's why I made that choice. We're going to glue these on the outside panels here, and it doesn't matter which one goes on which one since the pattern doesn't really go exactly together. This one kind of go, yeah, I guess that one does. So we made the right choice. You should look at it ahead of time just to make sure. Call that auditioning the pieces. Kind of audition them and see which way they work best. And then make your card that way. Okay, and the liquid glue, as you can see, gives you a little bit of wiggle room to move it over if you need to. Okay, then on the back, we're going to put these other two panels, and these are 4 inches by 2 inches. And they're going to go on the outside. And I don't know that this matters which way that goes. They don't really connect, so, and they're not exactly the same, so that's good. Because we all like a little variety, right? This goes on the outside panels also, 2 by 4. Okay. Now we have a little stamping to do. Let's do it first so that we have the label and these pieces and the back pieces done. We can set this aside momentarily to do our stamping. Get that where y'all can see it. All righty. Now we will get these 2 pieces out, and we're going to use the Gorgeously Made stamp set, as I said, and we're using the dies out of this. There is a bundle, Gorgeously Made bundle, and the bundle is item number 161203, and this suite is on page 102 and 103 in the catalog, and it's awesome. I love it, love it. Some people, this might not be their cup of tea, but it is mine. Love it, love it. Okay, so not only am I using this set, but I'm going to switch this one to be a happy birthday. And in order to find one that would fit on the label that matches the die for this, these are the dies. I wanted to use something for that label. We're using this die also. And I used the other dies on some of the other cards in this class. I've got 6 total cards in the class, so I'll have 6 videos and 6 blog posts. But I'm going to use the happy birthday from the Something Fancy set. And this set is number 160416 if you're interested in it. And I'm also going to use on the back, I decided I wanted to do something to go with the birthday theme. And I really like this new set. This is one that Rachel Tessman designed to go with our bow punch that we already had. So the all the leaves and all that go with that punch. So if you don't have the Gorgeously Made bundle, you could use this layering leaves bundle and kind of do a similar card and just have the designer series paper. That would work well together too. So we have So Happy to Celebrate You. That's what we're going to use on the back from this layering leaves set. And this number 161277. Okay, we've got that done. Now we're going to stamp in, and we did not use this color on the class that we had in person. I had forgotten what color I used, and I thought I used Berry Burst, but evidently I used Melon Mambo. So that's what we're going to use here. And hopefully I have my blog post corrected and my PDF tutorials corrected, and it'll be right. You can really pick whatever you want. Okay. We're just going to kind of do this at an angle and do the one on the other side at a little bit different angle. And you are stamping on cardstock, so it's not as smooth as stamping on the Whisper or Basic White. So you have to make sure you leave it a couple of seconds, let it soak in good before you move on. Okay, now we're going to do a little bit of, excuse me, stamping with crushed curry. And this is crushed curry cardstock here. And I don't know if I gave you that size. 1.5 by 4. 1.5 by 4. So you'll need 2 of those. Okay. We're going to get this little font text block, I call it. It's just like a bunch of text, like on a book. And I'm just going to kind of offset that. I'm going to do one in crushed curry. And then I will move this one over, do a little bit different. Let's see, we're going to either move this down or move it up. We're going to move that one up so it looks a little different. And then we can, I'm going to put a little bit more over here, kind of stamped off, as you can see. A little bit more over here. Now we're going to go to pumpkin pie. So we've got tone on tone there with the crushed curry, 1st generation and 2nd generation stamping. And you wouldn't necessarily have to clean that off. I just still like to. I'm in the habit of doing that with my stamps, even though I'm going from a lighter color to a darker color. So now we're going to use pumpkin pie for a little bit in the middle there. And that's it for those. So we've got pumpkin pie and crushed curry on those. And then we're going to switch to the grassy kind of stamp. I don't know what, it's just kind of, this kind of gives a shabby chic or just a collage type stamping feel. This one is Pretty Peacock. And we're going to go on the grass, and this is longer than the pad. So I'm going to take the pad upside down to the stamp instead of vice versa. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp these both at the same time. Why? Because I can, right? What other reason is there to do it? Okay. Just saves a little time and makes it easier. You don't have to re-ink it that way. Okay. Now we're going to use, let's see, what are we going to do on the back? I think we're going to clean this off, get the Pretty Peacock off of there, and then we're going to do the white ones. These sheets, well, I can go ahead and glue these. I'll go ahead. Never mind. We're all, we can all change our minds, right? Okay, we're going to put this, since we're gluing, we're going to glue these panels on, and you can look and see if you, which way you would rather have them facing. I kind of like them better this way. That's what I'm going to do. You can do yours however you want, of course. We want you to create your own cards. I just hope to be able to inspire you to create. Oops, get a little wild there, throwing the stuff around. I don't see anybody with any comments here. If y'all have questions or comments, or you want to let me know who you are, that would be awesome. I love to know who's watching and where you're from, whether it's live on my YouTube and Facebook stream that I do through StreamYard, or if y'all are watching the replay. Would love to know that. Okay, we're going to flip it over now. And we've got these pieces, which would be, if you've been listening, you'll know. These are going to be 2 inches by 4 inches also, right here in the middle. Yay. Okay, so we'll stamp those first. And I'm going to do the same little trick. I think we're just going to do the pumpkin pie. I'm going to go ahead on this card As you can see, I used a different stamp set that I really liked. And this is a new one this year that's called Courage and Faith. It has some great messages on here, little scriptures. And then it has several different framing kind of, you can use these to frame your message, whether it's horizontal or vertical. I use the little dots on here. But today we're not using this set since we're doing birthday. We're just going to use the same grass, which is not really grass, so it doesn't have to be green or blue-green or anything. It is going to be pumpkin pie, the same color as the paper. So I'm going to put these two pieces up next to each other and do what we did earlier, stamp all the way across. And I'm just going to have this toward the bottom. And that's all there is to that. Then we're going to take a little bit of this. I think I want a little bit of texture on this. So since we've stamped off, I mean, we've already stamped one generation, I'm just going to lightly stamp across that label. So you can see I didn't use much pressure. I just got a little bit of texture on there because the second generation, of course, is always lighter, but I didn't use much pressure either. So it probably could have been third generation, really. But that seems to work. I'm going to get that cleaned really quickly. And by the way, always check your stamps. And if there's way too much rubber around the edge, you're probably going to get that on your card. So I cut mine. If you can see, well, I just cut it with, we used to have some craft and rubber scissors, and I went around there and cut it a little bit. That's why mine's a little jig-jaggedy there, but it seems to work better. So it's a little bit smaller than the one actually in the space here. Let me show you that. I'll just take it off and show you. These stamps peel on and peel off. But see, you can see how much I cut that off. Where I've got that gap there, the gap on the side, I cut it at the bottom and the end so that I wouldn't have all that excess rubber to catch the ink and get it where I didn't want it. So there you go. That's a good tip for you on your stamps. Okay, back to this. Okay, we've got these done. Now we're going to stamp the happy birthday from the set I showed you earlier. Oh, something fancy. And that's going to be in Pretty Peacock. Of course, if you want to do this one, that You're a Great Friend from the Gorgeously Made, that's great too. Whatever sentiment you have that fits on that label, whatever kind of card you need, that's what you should stamp it with. And then stamp something on the back that coordinates with it. So I've got the happy birthday in Pretty Peacock on top of a little pumpkin pie. Then while I have that out, we'll clean that off real quickly. And I'm going to grab from the Layering Leaves set, I'm going to grab that sentiment, So Happy to Celebrate You. And I'm just going to put that over here, kind of centered between the sides and a little bit down. So if you want to write the recipient's name up there, you can, and sign it here and then write a message here. Or if you just want to have this one side and then write your whole message over here, that's great. However you want to do it. You can see how that's going to look here. Also did one, I originally thought I wanted to do it with a little more of the grassy stuff, but I think that's a little bit too much. What do y'all think? That's kind of, although you got busy over here anyway, so however you want to do it. If you want to double up and put one color at the top, one color at the bottom, I just usually almost always do my greetings in the darkest color because I feel like they show up more that way. Okay, so we're switching, as I said, we're switching sentiments here. I'm going to glue these on. That looks like my blade needed a little bit of, might need to change my paper cutting blade on my paper trimmer. And I'm putting this on the left-hand side and just centering that in that area there. And then I'm going to put this one on the other side, like I said, leaving that blank so that I can write a message to whoever this birthday card is going to. Isn't that fun? It's a fun card, right? You like the colors? Are y'all brights girls like I am? I sure do like my brights. Okay. Now we've got that. We're going to do a little of the adding a little bit of embellishment, and I've already pre-cut these dies. This one didn't come quite all the way out, but I wanted to let you know, even though it didn't, it's not that difficult. Just take your pick tool and just use your pokey end and push that gently. And then if it still doesn't quite come all the way out, you can cut that with your paper snips. Okay, see, we've got a pesky little piece right there, which is probably going to be covered up by the sentiment anyway. So see, that's really not that big a deal. This is a really detailed die, and I ran it through on everybody's card. I did 12 kits, I think. And each one I ran through back and forth twice. So 4 times through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine on that with that die on there. And this is crushed curry also. And we're just going to attach that on here. And I'm just going to do the main branch with liquid glue. And some of these branches up here, not all the branches, and definitely not all the petals. I kind of like, I don't know if those are petals or berries or leaves or what they are exactly, but I kind of want it at a slant, and I like leaving those up. It just gives it a little motion to have these sticking up. If that bothers you, glue them all down. It's totally your deal, whatever you want to do. Okay, let's find my little label. Oh, here we go. Yay. Okay. I'm going to scoop my chair up here. Got to have a sip of water. Okay, we're going to do little dimensionals on the back here. And it's probably overkill to do 3, but that's what I'm doing. I want to make sure it's secure and it stays put. Hope y'all are having a great weekend or week, whenever you're watching. If you're watching the replay, I'm really glad you've tuned in, whether it's live or on the replay. And hope you'll subscribe to my YouTube channel at Create with Kelly Pitts, or subscribe to my blog at createwithkelly.com. And then I also have a Facebook page that's Create with Kelly, and a group. We have a Create with Kelly crew group that I would love for you to be a part of. You can share your cards there that you get inspired to make. We always like to see pictures from Create with Kelly crew members. And I am just wadding that up and making it smaller so it'll fit as a glue dot right behind that little knot, since twine is not really all that big. And I am using a pumpkin pie twine that I believe is probably retired. I think it just retired. But you could take the white twine if you wanted and color it with your blends. Or you could use the white twine, which if you prefer the white twine, that's how that one looks, which is still pretty. Or I happen to have some of the pumpkin pie twine and decided that I wanted to use that. So to give it a little color there. So that's that. And then on the, I think I just took my embellishments in another room. Let me look here. Let me see. I had them for my other card, and then I remembered I didn't have it in all my to-go kits. So Let me look. It may be in the other room, so we may just skip those for now. But you can use just about any. Let's see. I have some that are retired in here. But if you want to use, the ones I used on here are the Pretty Peacock ones that come in the embellishment set that comes with the suite. And it has pink ones, white ones, and the Pretty Peacock. But I just wasn't, it didn't quite match exactly to me. So I was going to use some that I've had. I think these were holiday. You could use anything that's a gold tone, or you can get a clear one and use your blends to color it in. So I'm just going to use 2 or 3 of these and call it a day. I'm going to kind of put it in the center of a flower there, kind of around the greeting area. I kind of like to make the greeting and whatever's in that area, the sentiment, the focal point. So I'm going to put another one down here. And then I'll probably put one up further. Let's see. I might just do that one right here. So it's usually best to do an odd number because your eye it's easier to focus that way. And you keep your eye on the project longer. So that's fun. You want somebody to appreciate your card when you did all this trouble. You went to trouble to make it for them. And that makes it more special. So there is your Flying Seagull card. It's an adaptation of the one that Sue Campfield did, like I said. So when it folds flat to go in the envelope, it's going to be like that. Isn't that beautiful? I love this. I love it, love it. Then you open it up and you have all of this. And then you flip it over and you have your message on the back. How fun is that? Let me show you a front with a back. We'll let you see both at once there. So one is the one we did today, one I had done previously. But I love this fold. Thanks Susan Campfield for coming up with it. And I totally redesigned all the colors and everything that she did is different. But I used her fold. And that's wonderful about Stampin' Up! People is because we like to case things, which is copy and share everything, or copy and selectively edit, however you want to look at it. But I am happy to have had you here today. If you have any questions or need to place an order or anything, you can go to my blog. My host code is at the bottom of the screen there. And I'll give you one more view of why this is called the Flying Seagull card. How cute is that? Thanks again for joining me. I hope you have a great week and look forward to seeing you soon. Again, I will have classes in Lubbock coming up, and you can just go to my blog, createwithkelly.com, and subscribe, and you'll get notifications of any of the Stampin' Up! Specials or anything that I do through my Create with Kelly. Thanks again for tuning in. Have a great day. Bye-bye.